Hello everyone, Father Keller here, coming to you from the rectory at St. Mary's Cathedral. I thought I'd make a little video update for you. If depending on which Mass you were at this past weekend, you may have heard that last week I did test positive for COVID, but no worries, it's going very well. It just feels like I have a very mild cold, so thanks be to God, it's just very mild symptoms, and I'm just recouping here in quarantine in the rectory in my apartment here until this coming Saturday. So know that I haven't been in contact with anyone in St. Cloud. I was out of town last week, and I haven't been in contact with anyone in St. Cloud during this time, including Father Scott. No direct contact. So it's rest assured we're doing the best we can. We're doing well, and I'm feeling better every day. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a little update here, just while I'm here in quarantine. And I was talking to one of my classmates from seminary about all this, going to have to be in quarantine here for the week. And he said, I'm paraphrasing, but something to the effect of, oh, well, now you'll be able to live the essence of the priesthood, just the essence. And what he was meaning was that he was kind of referring to that passage in the letter to the Hebrews that says, every high priest is taken from among men to offer gifts and sacrifices to God. So when we look at what is a priest, what is the definition of priest? It's in short, the succinct definition is one who offers sacrifice to God. Plain and simple. Yes, there are other things that are part of priestly ministry, but as we know, as priests are fewer in number, we have some of you laymen and women taking care of different responsibilities that were once normally part of the responsibilities of the priest. But the very essence of a priest is one who offers sacrifice. And so while I'm here in quarantine, I'm still able to offer gifts of prayer to God, to offer sacrifices to God on behalf of men and women, all of you. And so you can be assured that in my daily prayers here in my apartment, I'm praying for all of you and still able to fulfill my priestly task, albeit not with all the extras of being out and about in the parish. But I wanted to show you a little something. While I'm here, I'm still able to have Mass, thankfully, and I'm going to see if I can turn my video around. Maybe I can't. Well, we'll see. But I have a little altar here. I'll try to turn this around. So right here, this little cabinet was in here when I moved in here. And this right on top was a gift for my ordination that my dad actually made. And so it's basically a travel altar. There's a little handle on the back that can pick it up with. It's very hefty. I think it's made of oak. And on the bottom, there are legs on the bottom that can be folded out to have it sit up higher, but I do not need that here. But when, like this at noon today, I had Mass, and I used this altar, and so let me open it up and show you. So as you can see, it folds out nicely to give a little more space. You got the crucifix that we need always for Mass. And right here is something really awesome, I think. It's called an altar stone. And it used to be the case that every altar had to have one of these in it. So up until maybe a few decades ago. Now it's a praiseworthy custom. And where it comes from, like the custom is, well, in the early church, we know when the church was being persecuted, the early Christians, there was a great amount of martyrs. And so the Christians, when they would have one of their brothers or sisters martyred, they would take their bodies and bury them in what we call the catacombs. And if any of you have been to Rome and been to the catacombs, you may have seen some of those graves of the early martyrs. And it was on those graves, on those tombs of the martyrs, on which is where the early Christians celebrated the Mass, celebrated the sacrifice of the Mass. And I mean, that goes back even into the Old Testament, where you have Abraham and Noah, when they find a place where they know God has delivered them from something, they set up an altar, a stone altar, to offer sacrifice to God. So that's kind of the where we get this altar stone idea. This particular altar stone was given to me from a priest friend of mine. It was probably blessed and cut, I mean, I would guess over 100 years ago. But you can see in here, this little part right here, so in this area, there would be relics. So in here are, I think normally it would have been 2 relics of martyrs. So a piece of their bone or a hair of theirs or something. And to remind us of the early church, how the martyrs of the early church, the blood of martyrs is the seed of the church, if you've heard that phrase. And you have these 5 crosses chiseled in here, representing the 5 wounds of Christ. And there's many other meanings, significance behind it too. You have the 4 on the edges, representing the north, south, east, and west, the 4 corners of the earth. The center one being Jerusalem, where Christ was sacrificed and rose from the dead, so the faith being spread throughout the world. It's a beautiful thing to have, that I have this, be able to offer Mass on this. And I also have some linens here. I wish I could get my phone to turn around, but we'll just keep going. So customarily, the linens are made out of actual linen itself. Sometimes they're not pure linen, the material linen, but these ones are, and that is to represent Christ, because as we know, the altar represents Christ, who is the rock on which the faith is built. The rock of our faith is Christ. And so that's when the priest kisses the altar, it's like he's kissing Christ as a sign of reverence. And when Christ was buried in the tomb, he was buried in white linen. And so we have these linen cloths. Customarily, there were a total of 3 cloths on the altar. So we have, let's see, is this the right way? Yep. So this one that spreads over the whole top. There we have the altar linens on there, and of course it just wouldn't be right without some candles. I need to get some new candles in here, but we have candles, again, kind of reminding us of the early church, when the persecuted Christians would celebrate Mass in the catacombs at night because of persecution, fear of being caught, basically, but they would still offer their lives to be able to offer Mass by candlelight. And the candle itself, it's a symbol of Christ, where the light of the world, of course, where you have the candle represents Christ, where the flame is the divinity of Christ, the wax is his humanity, and the wick is his soul. So again, a lot of little things here and there that help us to remember kind of what is our faith, what do we believe, all these beautiful things. Let's see here. Check one more thing. Okay. Yeah, so that's I guess that's all I wanted to show you here tonight. But I hope you enjoyed that. And just so you know, tomorrow, here we go. Sit back down. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to be recording myself praying Vespers, praying evening prayer. So that's part of the breviary, the liturgy of the hours that priests and deacons promise to pray every day. And I'll be posting it on the YouTube channel. I'll do my best to send a link to the right people so it can be disseminated properly to those who would like to watch it from our 3 parishes here. And so again, know of my prayers, and that's particularly with the liturgy of the hours, with Vespers and Lauds every morning. I'm doing my best to keep some sort of a routine here while I'm in quarantine to not just have Vespers in my shorts and t-shirt, but to actually dress up for it a little bit, to give the best to the Lord, and to offer those prayers, to keep in that mindset of praying with and for the people. That's the promise that priests and deacons make at their ordination. The bishop asks them, do you promise to pray the Liturgy of the Hours with and for the people of God? And so here, that's what I'm trying to do here, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I'll give a little bit more of a spiel, so to speak, some tidbits on the breviary on Vespers tomorrow evening. I'll do my best to have it posted by 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is Tuesday. All right, great. Thank you very much, and know my prayers. Please pray for me that I continue to get better and better every day. Hopefully I'll be able to be out and about by Saturday. Have a good night.